I'll drop that motherfucker.
Recorded from the heart of the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
What's his name? Fucking Shrek?
Hey man, every book is a children's book if the kid can read.
Sobros Network brings to you the Sobros Power Hour.
4 of us wolves running around the desert together in Las Vegas, looking for strippers and cocaine.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
Let the SobrosNetwork.com team get you to your weekend faster.
I just don't know how to express myself sometimes when I need to be properly different.
This is the Sobros Power Hour podcast.
I'm going to Shabooms!
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Sobros Nation, it is finally Friday. We are free again, getting our motors running for a wild weekend here on the Sobros Power Hour. Minds right, asses tight, as we try to get you to your weekend a little bit quicker. Of course, it's your boy, the host of the Sobros Power Hour, the EIC at SobrosNetwork.com, Big Natural Stoney Keeley. You can follow me on Twitter at Stoney Keeley. Collectively, we are at Sobros Network on all major social media platforms. Joined on this week's episode by Outdoor Sobro himself, Ryan. Ryan, how you doing today, my man?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm doing all right, man. It's beautiful weather, beautiful day. It's been a beautiful week in Nashville.
Yeah, it's getting hot out there, man. And we're going to talk about a story about that on today's show, but it kind of feels like, I don't know, this year particular, maybe it's just because I don't leave the house as much as I used to, so I go long spells just staying indoors, but it really feels like this year in particular, we have gone directly from winter into summertime.
I don't know. Like, I looked at the agenda, and I feel like we've also had a significant wet spring, too, and the temperatures have been kind of mild on most of those days. But I guess the peak, when we do have the sun and humidity, it has gotten kind of high.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just haven't left the house a whole lot. Like, when you leave the house once a week or so, it kind of gets easy to lose those mild days in there.
It's been a wet year.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of storms, a lot of rain.
There's a joke in there somewhere about it being, it's been real wet this year.
Well, I'm not, because I just looked up and I'm staring at a photo of Mance Warner and some dude in a dress and a lucha mask.
That's Marco Stunt there, too.
Oh, yeah, there's Marco Stunt.
And there's a picture of me and Brandon smoking cigars holding copies of the Nashville scene.
We got lots of fun pictures in the Sobros HQ, everybody.
A lot of stuff that is not, they're not going to be getting people very wet. I don't know. I shouldn't assume in this day and age. You never know. Yeah, some good stuff on there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been like today was super sweaty, super humid, super hot. But there's been some days where like days on end, just rain, pounding with rain.
I hate it. Well, for one, this is going to be such like old suburban dudes complaining about shit. There is apparently some, I've read up on it. If you come into my house in the summertime, very specifically the summertime, I'm talking like Memorial Day through 4th of July.
Okay, June.
Yes, June. In other words, June, yes. It will smell like cat piss in this house when it's been raining. And conventional wisdom, we do have a cat. Conventional wisdom would say, well, it is cat piss. But it's not. Bucky's very careful. The only time he's ever shit or pissed outside the litter box is when he apparently swallowed, I think he must have, I don't know how he swallowed one of my hairs. I have really long hair. And got it, all tangled up in his digestive system. And when he went to shit, he only shit the turd out and couldn't get the totality of the hair out as well. And it was wrapped around the turd. So
hold on a second. Did your hair get blamed for this? You're not the only long-haired person in this house.
Yeah, but I'm the only one that like the cat lets cuddle.
Okay.
So like I
okay.
pick him up and he doesn't immediately freak out.
We haven't done a DNA test on the hair.
We haven't done a DNA test on the hair, but it wrapped up the turd. He ejected the turd from his body, but not the hair completely. So he covered it up, and then when he hopped out of the litter box, the hair was still inside his butt, and so it pulled the turd out of the litter box, and when it did, it scared him because he's suddenly like, this turd is following me.
We've been there. Everybody's been there.
And he just runs through the house, dragging this turd all through the kitchen and the living room, and eventually he I'll never forget it. And my wife was just like, she couldn't breathe. She was laughing so hard, and I was pissed because I hate gross smells. And so I'm trying not to be mad at him. It's not his fault, but he turns around the corner in our living room, and when he did, it just completely, like, the hair finally came loose and it ejected the turd, and it just like smacked against the wall and left a little stain on the wall. That's the only time, like, the point I'm getting at is that Bucky uses his litter box. It's not,
if you come over in June, it's not the cat.
it is not the cat that smells like cat piss. There's a condition with the soil, I read up on it, that the moisture can cause certain things to be released in the soil, and it gets up in our air vents, and every room in the house smells like cat piss. But I don't know if you smelled it today, but that's why I have candles burning in every... See, Aura says that she can't smell it either. Brandon's been over, and he said he can't smell it. My mother can't smell it. Maybe it is just like
Who
a
smells
personal
it? You
defect.
smell it?
It's me, yeah. But I figured out...
Maybe it's you. Maybe you smell like cat piss. Because you are the only one that cuddles with him, you said.
Maybe that's it. Whenever we're done podcasting, I'll take you out back and let you stick your head under the house and smell, because it's under the house that you can smell it really strong. And I read up on it, and there's apparently, like, they have to do some sort of soil treatment under the house.
Listen, I moved my mower the other day, and there was like 6 possum babies underneath there. Thankfully, I didn't turn it on.
Yeah.
So I assume this is what you're dragging me into. Look, it's not cat, it's possums pissing under my house.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is this rain has just produced this smell in my house nonstop that apparently only I can smell. But it's not until once things dry up, I think is what it is, in July, and things start to get a little bit drier. It's not
gone.
an issue. It's never an issue for us.
Well, dude,
but
it's all musty, moldy smell. I think we're gonna have a lot of mold problems this year around town just with that, because it's been super wet.
Yeah. I mean, it's been, just as we sit here and record this show, it's rained here at our house every day this week.
Yeah.
And we've had, I don't feel like, knock on wood, of course, we haven't had the major destructive storm out here this season.
Stoney?
But there's been a lot of really heavy torrential downpours.
There have been just
more than usual, I would say.
And we've coming out of a pretty dry period as well. So just the ground could not absorb it.
Like I said, old suburban dad pod today, basically.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? Have you been out and about around town?
Not too much.
No?
Been busy with life. A lot of farm stuff going on, taking care of large animals, small animals, grass, weeds, gardens, kids on dirt bikes.
That'll do it. Busy schedule.
I've become like the go-to person for people with blown up or crashed motorcycles. Be like, hey, you want to ride this? I'll sell it to you for cheap if you fix it up. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I've got a lot of motorcycle projects that I'm working on, trying to rebuild so I can have some fun on the track. One of those I did rebuild. It's a 23-year-old motorcycle now, a dirt bike, I should say. And I got back out on the motocross track first time in about a decade or more. Still had a little bit of issues to work out with it, but and myself. But it was nice to be back on track.
Nice.
So trying to get out there a little bit.
My wife has been in Italy this week. Family getting married out there.
Ooh.
Quite the
I never asked
wedding.
why. And I saw she posted where she's at, and we had planned a trip there a few years ago. I think that was COVID threw that off. Or maybe it was one of the babies being born threw that off. But yeah, I wanted to go to that lake, and it looks awesome. Yeah,
she saw I don't know if she would approve of me just discussing her life on here, but I'm going to do it anyway and accept the consequences because I think it's a really sweet story. But she's been out there like Lake Como,
Mm-hmm.
and where George Clooney's got a house out there, and she was listing all these celebrities that were apparently in the vicinity when her and her father were out there. But really beautiful place. She got to see Milan, and for those listening that might not know,
Not Mulan, but
not Mulan.
okay, yeah,
Milan,
yeah.
the city.
Right. I knew
Yeah.
that. I knew
where
that.
Gucci is. That was the first place she found. I got a picture of the Gucci headquarters.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, whatever. Tell Adam Driver I said hello. But she grew up in Jersey, and if you don't know, I mean, Bruce Springsteen is royalty in New Jersey.
yeah.
He was supposed to be playing a show in Milan the same week that her cousin was getting married out there.
So they
And
couldn't go
so-
to the wedding.
So they were like, the stars had aligned, like this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. And then literally 2 days before they catch a flight, Bruce has to pull out of the show because he's on vocal rest. He's been really sick for a while.
Yeah.
So instead, they just took a day in Milan, kind of, just moseyed around, see the city and that sort of thing. And then they go to Lake Como. The wedding was in Bari, which I've been getting pictures. It's
that whole area is beautiful.
it is just,
Yeah.
it's insane, man. And the I guess the rehearsal dinner she went to last night was in like a wine cellar that had been like carved into a cave, and they'd kind of gone like underground. And the photos, I'll show them to you after we get done recording.
We have those here too. It's just for meth. So it's just a little different.
Yeah, but she it's a really sweet story. Her father got the invite to the wedding, and he is at a point in his life where he was telling us, I'm probably never going to get to go again. So while I can still walk around,
Anyone at any point in their life might not get that opportunity.
well, fair
again.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But he was saying, while I can still walk around, I'm going to go. But he was also like telling them this and
Yeah.
not asking,
Yeah.
like, hey, what do you guys think? He was like, no, I'm going.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, you're not going to go halfway across the world.
She says, I'm your plus one.
Yeah, I'm your plus one, basically. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to drive you to places and make sure that you're okay and staying hydrated and can walk around and all that. And so it was, I thought that was really cool. And he's over there having the time of his life. If you knew my father-in-law, this would probably be a lot funnier, but I got a text this morning that was just pictures of a golf course. And he's a big golfer. And she tells me like, oh, of course he found the golf course. But then she follows it up with, apparently there's some big celebrity tournament that's happening at the golf course, and they have the gates locked, and you're not supposed to let people in, but he just kind of like barricaded through to see this golf course. And I'm like, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like, of course, he's just going to do what he wants.
He
He's a
said,
gypsy
he
soul.
said, don't you know, man, Bruce Springsteen, I'm supposed to be playing tomorrow night, but
Yeah.
don't make me yell because
Yeah.
my voice is hurting.
So all of that to say, I haven't done shit this week. I've been at the house by myself. At one point, I cooked a big pot of cabbage and ate it for dinner.
Just cabbage?
Well, cabbage and bacon and an onion.
There's
It's good. It's good. And I ate it.
Stop.
I ate it for dinner. I ate it for breakfast the next morning.
I'm just gonna
and
go
I
and
ate
tell
it
you,
for lunch the
I've
next day.
figured out the cat situation. It's not the rain, pal. It's the cabbage pot you dumped out by the deck, and it seeped underneath the floor.
Oh, that's good. You chop up a cabbage. I've still got half a
No, I
head of one.
understand how you cook it. It's just fucking gross.
Oh, you're not a cabbage fan.
I do drink cabbage juice. I threw cabbage in.
What?
Dude, it's if you ever have digestive issues, cabbage juice it. Don't just eat the cabbage. Don't cook the cabbage. Juicing cabbage, a beet, and something.
love beets.
Throw some other stuff in there like ginger, carrot, apple, or something.
I thought you were
Just-
gonna say gin. Like there's some gin.
Oh,
in there.
that would make it better too. Throw something in there that's got a strong flavor that'll help those other two because cabbage
Yeah.
juice, it sucks going down. Like 4 days, 1 drink a day of that cabbage juice. It's so rich in vitamin C. It helps so many things in a digestive system.
What about if you eat 2 bowls of it every meal for 3 meals?
You're
in a
probably
row?
good. Like your insides are probably great.
I've eaten half a cabbage this week
I
with an entire pack of bacon and an onion.
I mean, that's all the food groups, I think.
Yeah. I seasoned it with my own proprietary Nashville hot seasoning too.
I don't know. I don't want to know what that is.
Well, I can't give it
Pepper.
away. A lot of cayenne pepper,
Oh, here you go.
some brown sugar.
I had my mother-in-law had gifted me Carolina Reaper pepper beef jerky,
Ooh.
and it was delicious. It was hot. It was delicious. I like spicy stuff, but it wrecked the stomach lining of my stomach.
Yeah.
My stomach lining. And with medication, like the acid blockers and stuff like that to try and like reduce the stomach acid and the pain and all that. It's like gastritis basically at that point. I found some dude that said, you know, like a week or 2 weeks, cabbage juice, put some other stuff with it if you want. 4 days in, it's like a flip switches. And I was like, whatever. Day
Shit.
1, nothing. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, nothing. Day 4, boom. It fixes it. So anytime I've got digestive issues,
Call me up. I'll get a pot of cabbage on the
I'll
on
do
the
that.
stove.
Man, I'll get some bacon and some cabbage from Stoney.
So that's the highlight of my week so far. Well, I did. I went out to eat. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings on Wednesday night. The saddest Buffalo Wild Wings ever. And we were talking about that, man. Out here in Mount Juliet, when they first built Providence and those first couple of years when everything was just kind of popping up around the area, World of Wings, affectionately known as WOW.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Pour one out. Some of the best Friday nights of my life were spent at WOW. I miss
The best social gatherings.
Yeah.
Impromptu.
the number of times that I think about spending a Friday night at WOW, still to this day, is probably mental illness. I feel like I would be told you're depressed over this, among other
You're
things.
not the only person.
But we don't have to get into
Dude,
that.
it's a great place. Great owners.
It was, yeah. And Friday nights at WOW, we still have some videos floating around that we probably can't post.
I've got
anywhere.
a lot. I need to find, because I've videoed a lot there.
Yeah.
Like I would just set the camera on the table and we'd just hang out.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole archive somewhere that never needs to see the light of the day on the internet, but like
Yeah.
just to go back and like listen to and have fun.
Just be there in that moment at that restaurant.
It was.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those places, and maybe that's what we need to do, and it's what we will do in the next few years.
With Sobros?
It's one of those places you write a TV show about.
We could.
It's like
Yeah.
Wings,
Yeah. Well, I remember.
or what's the other?
So we have it on video of our resident film critic, who would also probably kill me for putting this out on the internet. But we have video footage of him drinking another man's dip spit
On accident.
because he grabbed the wrong cup.
Mm-hmm.
But the realization of like the events that unfolded when our friend Andrew says, "You just drink my dip spit," and the look on Brandon's face is pretty good. The jalapeno prank was the best to watch unfold because we got it from the jump with some help from the staff that hid a few jalapenos in Brandon's Long Island
And he was
iced tea.
sweating.
And it was so funny because he had already had a couple, so he was a little less observant.
And let's tell the audience, these were $3.50 Long Island iced tea pints.
Oh man,
all day,
yeah,
every day.
I mean, it was the easiest. We got tore up in that building. But watching Brandon take a sip and then wipe sweat from his forehead and just kind of looking around like, golly, what has happened? Like, and then
I remember it well.
At one point, doesn't he ask, like, is it hot in here to you guys? And then when he finally realizes we put jalapenos, Brandon's not a spicy food fan. So Good times, but that kind of place. And then Saturdays, a lot of Saturdays, it was Buffalo Wild Wings right there. And it used to be jam-packed on a Saturday night. You could rarely just walk up and find room at the bar.
Yeah.
You just kind of had to hope, like if your friends got there, maybe they got a big enough table that could fit everybody, and who knows where the night would take us from there. Maybe downtown, maybe to the Red Rooster. Rest in peace to the Red Rooster as well. But good times, man. And then I go into Buffalo Wild Wings. I went Wednesday. The last time I had been a few months ago, because we like, of all things, their tater tots. They have fresh tater tots are so good. And the sauces, man, Thai curry.
This leads into what we're talking about is, the quality's gone down when the best thing on the menu is the fucking potatoes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But we go in there and it's just, you kind of jarred a little bit when you have these memories of just these grand adventures downtown starting at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't know if you remember. That's where I actually met you guys, was Buffalo Wild Wings.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Wow.
The first night we hung out was at that Buffalo Wild Wings.
Man, I don't remember that.
I
don't remember.
Brandon was very cordial and was like very welcoming and very calm. And then like the next night was back at Wow, and then it was like, here we go.
That's his trap. It always was. Yeah. He would be like very nice and like, oh, come on. Like, yeah, he was always very excited to meet new friends. Yeah. And then like the welcoming face just dropped the next time you hung out,
like,
and you were like,
to
this
the
guy's
show.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This guy is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just kind of crazy to think of how growing up in Mount Juliet, there was nothing. When I was in high school, we had to drive to Opry Mills, which even then had just opened. It was the shiny new toy at the time. We had to drive to Opry Mills to do anything. If we wanted any shopping done, I remember like doing Christmas shopping with my mom. Like she'd have to take me to Rivergate Mall or Hickory Hollow Mall or something like that. And then to go through this period of time where at the time I was in college, fresh out of college, and then all of a sudden like Mount Juliet has Buffalo Wild Wings, and they have Wow, and they have USA, which is a whole nother story. But
I spent all those years, I was probably, which I don't want to give too much detail here, from the time I was like 14 through 22, like I lived on the same pavement as that bar.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah, that's the one place we can share our fun little stories about Wow and Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know, there's a lot from USA Sports Bar and Grill that can't make the air.
There's another RIP I want to shout out, was New York Pizza, which ended up being it was
NYPD Pizza that
and then NYMY,
and they got
it was a
trouble.
Franchise, and they got out of the franchise.
Yeah,
but they had the best, to this day, the best buffalo chicken pizza I've ever had, because it was a base. Too. Yeah, it was a proper base sauce, was buffalo sauce. Good cheese, good. The crust was good. It was a proper pizza place, and they topped it from the menu properly with like seasoned chicken with the buffalo sauce base. But they topped it with actual good blue cheese, not ranch.
Yeah,
proper blue cheese. It was so fucking delicious.
Oh man, that was a.
We ended up having a friend who worked there for a long time who, depending on what kind of pizza we ordered, he would hide not sardines, anchovies.
Oh,
so
gross.
they had a delicious barbecue chicken pizza, and he would hide anchovies under the pieces of chicken to fuck with us. Still a good time.
Yeah. But it's kind of crazy to think like we grew up in this area where there was nothing. You had to drive at least 30 minutes, which now there's no way you could get to Opry Mills in 30 minutes.
I can't get from my side of Mount Juliet to your side of the Mount Juliet in 30 minutes.
I shit you not. And you know where I grew up out in Gladeville. Whenever we used to meet there, because the room that I had when I was a teenager had its own entry and exit from the house. So like it made it super easy for us to just come and go as we pleased all throughout the night. And it like because of that, my house kind of sort of took on the central hub for the friends group. So everybody would meet at my house, and then we would go to the movies. If there was a 7:20 movie, we would leave the house at like 7:00 and still make it on time.
Oh yeah.
To Opry Mills from Gladeville.
Yeah. It used to be like Lebanon to Nashville. It's 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah.
It didn't matter like how deep you're going into Nashville. Like you might need to add 5 minutes for parking.
Yeah.
Dude, 30 minutes doesn't get you to Hermitage now.
No, it takes about 15 minutes to actually get parked and in the theater in Providence from my mom's place now. So to go from that to all of a sudden we have our own Cheers in Mount Juliet, basically.
Yeah, Cheers. That's this show I was trying to think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have our own Cheers in Mount Juliet. To now it's kind of swung the other way to where there's like a lot of chains and stuff in town. Nobody really goes to the Buffalo Wild Wings anymore.
Yeah.
Wow's not even here anymore.
Yeah.
You have like Jonathan's, but Jonathan's
Dude.
is always super crowded with
Loud.
and
it's so loud.
It's because of all the like everything in that place is marble.
Yeah.
And sound just bounces
just
around.
bounces.
Yeah. So it's marble and brick.
You know what because we talked before the podcast for everyone who wasn't in the house with us.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the local spots we're going to hit up after this and stuff. And I'm amazed with it. It's grown so much. We have all these new spots.
Yeah.
We don't have that Cheers spot anymore.
We don't. No.
We can't. Every place fucking sucks.
Well, that's what we're being called upon, Ryan. We're being called upon. We're the ones
With the
that have
Sobros
to...
House of Pasta Pizza.
Oh, what did he...
Barbecue and steakhouse. I've got it written down somewhere. We're going to do it. At some point, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've already... My favorite menu item right now is the FAP, which is the fettuccine Alfredo pocket. Don't steal that from me, you assholes. I've already written it down.
Macaroni Grill, you heard the man. It's ours. Don't run it.
Good luck selling the FAP. Now, Buffalo Wild Wings, they might turn this ship around with the FAP.
That's how they do it. Yeah. That's how they do it. It was a very sad meal. So that's been my week. I've eaten cabbage. I went to Buffalo Wild
You got
Wings.
some great potatoes.
Some really good tater tots. And you know what? I'll give them credit. This is going to sound crazy. Buffalo Wild Wings has a good Nashville hot sauce. It doesn't taste...
I haven't tried it.
It doesn't taste like
I
Nashville
avoid...
hot.
Dude, I've been in the northeast of England and there was a Nashville hot sauce on the menu. I'm like, I'm not fucking touching that.
No, that's the golden rule of Nashville hot.
No.
Never eat Nashville hot outside of Nashville.
I ate a Nashville hot chicken pizza at, I think it was Luigi's Pizza. Is that what the one that was like on 3rd or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi's Pizza had a Nashville hot chicken pizza. And I thought, sounds delicious. We're in fucking Nashville. This was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably more than that now. I'm getting old. It was buffalo sauce.
That's, oh man, that happened to me in San Francisco. I had a spot that said Nashville hot and I tried it and it was just like a fried chicken breast with buffalo sauce over it.
Dude.
And I'm like, how, I mean, are people just don't know what it is? They're just,
Ooh, it's spicy. It's kind of, I'm feeling kind of risky today.
I went to Washington, D.C., Nashville hot chicken sandwich. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it was like the spicy chicken sandwich you get at Chick-fil-A. And I'm like,
yeah, no.
This is closer than Buffalo, but it's still not Nashville hot. Newark, New Jersey, or Jersey City, New Jersey. I had some Nashville hot wings. Not Nashville hot. It's just Buffalo.
No.
It's almost like they think there's like this national perception like, oh, Nashville hot is
Frank's
just
is spicy.
Buffalo. It's just Buffalo with like brown sugar and cayenne pepper in it. And that's Nashville hot.
It's Frank's.
It's Frank's, yeah.
And then you make your own version of Frank's. Although hold on, because I think I brought this up recently.
Yeah.
I think I had a bottle of Frank's Nashville hot and I complained about it because it was nothing close to flavor. I don't remember what did I say that I remember this now because Frank's had a Nashville hot.
Yeah.
And it was I'm angry about it now. Oh no, I remember what it was. It tastes like Chipotle sauce.
Oh.
Not Chipotle restaurant. chipotle pepper.
Chipotle pepper sauce.
It was a Frank's chipotle pepper sauce, and they fucking pushed it off as Nashville hot.
Man.
Thousands of miles
How
away,
do
buddy.
people, are people just making this stuff without actually coming to Nashville and trying the real Nashville hot chicken?
I think they probably came to Nashville and had Nashville hot chicken, and they were so obliterated on them, whatever their stupid tourist venture was, which is a good segue into our conversation tonight.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, fuck it, we can make it Nashville hot. What ingredients? I don't know, just make it up. Just make it up. It's just fucking spicy.
It's a branding term.
It's branding, yeah. That's all it is.
Because the thing is, too, we keep saying Nashville hot sauce. True Nashville hot chicken it's not a sauce.
No, you're right.
It's not.
It's a rub.
It's a rub. Yeah, and people don't even get that part right. But I will give Buffalo Wild Wings credit.
The tater tots were awesome.
The tater tots are good. The Nashville hot sauce tastes really good.
We'll have to try it.
But it's not Nashville
Here's
hot.
the thing.
That's the thing. It's not Nashville hot. It is.
I used to
something else.
love Buffalo Wild Wings a lot. Well, I mean, I say love. I did enjoy it as a quick spot.
Oh, man, it used to be
as
good.
inflation hit, prices go up, their quality has gone down, in my opinion. I've probably got a lot of gift cards for there, so I will hit it up and try it.
Yeah. I only went there because, well, for one, I go out to Gladeville, I pick up my mother, and we go out to dinner every Wednesday night as a way to keep in touch. I see if she needs any chores done around the house, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And we had gotten so tired of going to the same few spots all the time. Like Cracker Barrel, Waffle House. We go to Red Robin a lot.
Have you had alcohol at Cracker Barrel yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Do they serve
Do you want to go
here?
to Cracker Barrel tonight
No,
and just get
no, please.
shit wrecked?
Please, no.
At the Cracker Barrel.
I do, but I don't want to waste my night.
Yeah. So, we just went to Buffalo Wild Wings because we're like, oh, I forgot this is here. We used to have a really good time here. Let's go, get some wings. And then we get the naked tenders, and it's just like, I don't know. They're half the. I hate to, again, we sound like old men on this podcast. Like half the size that they used to be.
Yeah.
And it's just not the same. It's not the same anymore.
When I dropped out of normal undergraduate university school, I was going to night school to get my associate's degree, and in between work or in between classes, maybe on certain days, I'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'd have a tall beer, and they had this cool, tall, nice glasses. They had nice wings.
Oh,
I'd have a beer and wings, and I'd go to my night class, do that, and come home. And it was just, the quality of food was better then. The service was better. Everything just felt better.
Yeah, I'm with you. We do gotta speed it up a little bit, or else
so we're in the weeds.
We're 30 minutes in and haven't even started our Nashville stories of the week. So I did go out to Wendell Smith's over the weekend. Dropped my wife off at the airport, and then just kind of cruised around Nashville for a little bit. Picked up my mother out in Gladeville, Waffle House for breakfast, and then we went to McKay's. Spent some good quality family time in McKay's, just picking over the movies, the books. Like you can kill some time in there. Ultimately, it got a little crowded. It's a little shoulder to shoulder in there, and I was not feeling very people-y on Saturday, and neither was my mother, who was just trying to find a puzzle to take home. And I'm like, let's get out of here. But we took the long way from Mount Juliet out through Hickory Hollow, out through Nippers Corner and Brentwood and Belle Meade and all that, around through Bellevue to get to McKay's. And then we drove around West Nashville where the Wendell Smith stop happened. She grew up in the area, so it's kind of cool to like take her and see like, this is the house she grew up in. This is where you used to go to high school. All these years later, this is what it looks like. And then we drove out to Bellevue, came back around up Belle Meade, across Briley, into Donaldson, down to Danger Zone Video in Mount Juliet, the Mount Juliet Beer Company, Big Star Cigar to get some new pipe tobacco, and then back to Providence. So a big loop around.
That's a massive loop.
We were gone.
That's like the perimeter of the basin. Like you didn't go up an elevation, you stayed right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Of the bowl.
I picked her up so I dropped Aura off at the airport at 7:00, came home, cleaned up, got coffee, and by the time I picked my mother up, cooked some cabbage, and by the time I picked my mother up, it was about 9:00. A couple hours had passed. So we left at 9:00, had breakfast, and then started our journey. It was 8:30 at night when we got home.
Yeah.
8:30.
You just literally went around you were just like a kid playing with a toy car and a bowl.
Yeah.
Just zoom.
I didn't even mention, like, after Wendell Smith's driving around the old neighborhoods, we actually drove out to Pegram, Tennessee. And to see, because my aunt and uncle used to have a place out there. So we were kind of just scoping out, what's the old neighborhood look like out here? And by the time, man, like, we put some miles on her car, we ate all 3 meals out that day. Waffle House, Wendell Smith's, and then by the time we got back to Mount Juliet, we were like, let's get some Taco Bell. So it was a busy day, but it did kind of spark the question, because our initial plans, I wanted to do like a one-night getaway. My mother is like a ball of anxiety. She never leaves the house. Sounds just like me, but you know, she never gets out and does things for herself. So we were kind of thinking like, hey, we've got the weekend open. Like, let's go on a day trip. Let's go up to the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green. Let's go down to the aquarium in Chattanooga. And to tie it back to where this conversation started, Saturday morning we wake up and it's fucking pouring down rain. Yeah. And
told you.
Bless her heart. Like, she is very nervous. Like, I start slowing down 50 feet in front of the car at the red light. And I just like tap on the brakes and she's grabbing the handle and just like a ball of nerves. So I'm like, I'm not going to drive up to Kentucky, who is getting it worse than we are right now. Let's just have a bit of a staycation. But it begged the question for me. I was thinking about it. Like, I wanted to ask you, not necessarily if you have a 12-hour drive around Nashville that you like, but when you're kind of feeling in that mood to get out and about and drive around town a little bit, do you have a certain course that you chart around this city?
Yeah, I typically head east, just because we're already on the, like, families on the Lebanon side and stuff. Yeah. But I do want to highlight some of the, you hit out toward Pegram, you went to McKay's, and like some of the best floating rivers for kayaks, canoes are out west. You got the Piney, the Harpeth, all those. It's perfect spots to get out and about. But personally, like, historically, what have I done? I head towards Center Hill. Yeah. You get some elevation, and I'm a motorcycle rider. So what I'm thinking right now is, what I get on my motorcycle? North of the lake, you head northeast in Lebanon, head towards Carthage. There's some awesome roads down in some hollers.
Yeah.
Head towards Defeated Creek, Carthage, all those areas. It's close to Gainesville.
Gordonsville is out.
Gordonsville
is
what am I thinking?
East.
Gordonsville, and then
Gordonsville and Baxter.
Gordonsville, Baxter,
area.
Cookeville. Yeah. I'm thinking Florida. I don't know why. Gordonsville, Baxter, Cookeville, and there on the south side of the south side of the lake, Smithville. Which I assume you guys, for you, with your family, like, Smithville is a common thing. For me...
Well, that's why we didn't do that route, because we had just done
you do that a lot.
So,
for me, I don't. Yeah. And I like going that way because you can go around the lake, around the dam. It's a nice motorcycle riding area. And you get Twisted Oaks. That's kind of like my spot, is like... So, Gordonsville... I
love Twisted Oaks.
Gordonsville has the Bull and Thistle, which is a awesome English pub, which we need to go to.
Yeah, did that used to be in Lebanon?
No, it's been Gordonsville. I don't think so. It's all Gordonsville.
There was an English pub in, it's not the Factory. The Factory's in Franklin. The Mill?
At the Mill.
The Mill, yeah.
Maybe the Bull and Thistle was there at one point, but it's Gordonsville is where it's at now. We've hit it a couple times.
In Gordonsville?
It's awesome.
Dude, I didn't know that.
And I've taken an Englishman there. It's
Did
awesome.
The Englishman approve?
Oh yeah, we had a great time.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But Twisted Oaks is so fun, and they're expanding their back patio and all that stuff. So, it's a perfect motorcycle riding spot.
And that's where there's a ton of traffic, man. Yeah. Like, you go out on a beautiful spring day, which was the last trek that we made out there, was for the Watertown yard sale.
Yeah.
Huge disappointment this year, by the way, but we drove out to Watertown. We hit up some antique malls along the way. There's a new antique store. There's a couple new antique stores that opened in Alexandria, of all places.
Yeah.
That I guess like cheap rent little shops, like go for it. And
Yeah.
they were really cool. Like
Their downtown area is kind of like, it's been coming and going the past few years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we go up there and then it's like, you know what? The yard sale was a bust, but we're having a nice day. It's beautiful outside. Let's go on up to Smithville. And I think we probably passed 4 or 5, I don't know what you would call them, troops of motorcycle riders.
You could say groups. You
Can
don't
you
have to
say
say,
gangs?
you could put,
gangs.
it depends on the patch.
Okay.
And honestly, it gets silly.
Yeah.
So there's a 3-piece patch, which
Yeah.
has a solo curved patch at the top
Okay.
that says the gang name or group name, whatever, club. And then the bottom patch, I think usually has, which it's been a while, people, I'm sorry, the location that they're
Yeah.
based out of, and then like their logo is in the middle. So if it's 3 separate patches, that's a 3-patch. And they're real picky about people having 3 patches as well. So if you're like in a motorcycle club, you
That's the word I was
kind of
looking
need to
for.
have a 1 patch. Otherwise, you're supposed to get, and this is all on air quotes, people, permission from the local 1%ers, which that's a whole nother rabbit hole of explaining what that is. But the gangs,
Yeah.
like, because there's been times when people have like done a 3-patch thing, and then they have problems with the local clubs in air quotes.
Okay.
Because it's like
I didn't
it's
realize.
rival territory.
Yeah. You're encroaching.
So if you're
upon
gonna
that.
do your vest, you need to have like a 1 patch, unless you're ready to get involved in some nefarious activity and scuffles.
It's good to know.
So I would just say groups of bikes, because most groups of bikes out there, it's just people that are hanging out and riding and enjoying their time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say, like, most of the groups that we passed didn't have like any patches. They were just in the like the black leather vest and the blue jean kind of get up. But by the time, so I feel like I'm sharing so much personal information on this show today. But
I thought I was a 6, but I'm at 5.
okay.
Sorry.
I'm sharing so much personal information for some reason on this episode, but my grandparents are buried in Smithville. And it's this cemetery like right when you get into town.
And they were Hell's Angels member.
They were Hell's Angels members. So like we pass all these motorcycle
Just kidding.
clubs.
Just let me clarify. Just kidding.
We pass all these motorcycles on the way up to Smithville, and then we stop at the cemetery. So by the time we get back in the car, they've caught up with us or passed us.
Right.
And then we head to Twisted Oaks, and we see, oh, this is like the destination for all these people. And it's a pretty cool thing, man, like to walk in there and see like just the compound that they've got there now.
Yeah.
I still haven't been out back because every time I've been there, I've taken my mother, and I'm not like pounding beers and getting rowdy. I got to drive us an hour back home. But I keep thinking like, man, there's like one night.
There's a weekend in us.
If we get a cabin out by the lake, we could tear up some Twisted Oaks. And I also do kind of feel, have you ever been there at night?
Not late.
I'm curious
evening.
what the crowd gets like the later into the night, because I could
Post
also,
Christmas parade.
post Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's when we went in the evening.
I could also see it being the type of place that I could probably end up. Somebody could probably end up in a fight.
No,
I don't know
think
what the energy's
I
like
think
there.
the energy's. I think what we've found with Smithville, knock on wood,
Yeah. Go ahead. They heard
is
it.
that the late night energy you expect is the complete opposite. It's more of it's a good time.
Well, all I know is the late night energy at the Midnight Express.
Yeah, which is not far away.
No.
So I think it's good. We spoke with the owner last time we were there because they're expanding the back area and stuff. It's
Dude,
a
it
great
looks
place.
sick.
And I
It
just
looks
want to throw
sick.
this up again because I'm a huge blue cheese fan. If you couldn't tell from the NYPD pizza story,
Yeah.
the blue cheese at Twisted Oaks, it took like 30 minutes to get this sorted, but I talked them into like selling me a big tub of it. And they were like, we're not sure about expiration. So they wrote an expiration date to like make it safe. Like they didn't, like nobody asked for this. They take like their blue cheese and they mix it with their ranch. They have a homemade ranch as well.
Oh.
They mix their homemade ranch with the blue cheese. It is so good.
Man,
It is
I didn't know
so
that.
good.
See, I get their they've got a Nashville hot sauce too. It's the same thing. It's like this isn't really Nashville hot, but this is good
But it's
sauce.
good.
This is really good sauce. And I smother everything I get
Yeah.
with it. I get onion rings, tater tots, fried. My mouth is watering as we're doing this.
No, let's
this
go to
podcast.
Twisted Oaks after this.
Let's call a Lyft to get us from.
No,
Mount
I brought
Juliet
my
to
motorcycle. You can
I
hop
just
on
get
the
on
back.
the back? Yeah, there we go. Okay. A beautiful night for a ride, yeah. But I've never had a bad meal there. Man, they've got great burgers, great sandwiches.
It's a good place for kids to be around too, especially with the outside area.
Yeah.
Now. It's a good time.
I had I don't remember if it was a regular menu item or a special there, but they had like a steak sandwich. It was like steak, onions, banana peppers.
I always get wings. And
Yeah,
I
usually do
need to
too,
branch
yeah.
out.
I usually do. We get wings for our appetizer because my wife loves wings too. So it's almost like anywhere we go, our appetizer.
You might as well get wings.
Yeah.
But the prices, I think they're starting to come back reasonable at some places,
Yeah.
but COVID fucked them up pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's a good day
Yeah.
drive to
That's
land this plane.
Yeah, sorry guys. That's where like I head east because I know you don't because like I'm
We're out there
trying
quite a
to
bit.
get away from town.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my area because you get the lake, the dam, the roads are good. If I'm getting out of town, it's because I'm riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, I hear you. And we see that a lot out there. Smithville is kind of it's I don't want to say it's popping off a little bit. There's a
Dude,
beer
it's
garden up there
expanding.
now.
Well, it's right across the street.
Across the street from
Yeah.
Twisted Oaks, but I've heard it's not that great.
I think they'll get that. It's a nursery
Yeah.
that also does some beer stuff. So I mean, it'd be like us trying to like
And what's the
manage some stuff.
man, they have it on tap at Twisted Oaks, and I get it every time that I'm there, but the brewery is out in
Is it Calf
Calf
Killer?
Killer.
Yeah,
the
Calf
brewery's
Killer.
out in Sparta.
Yeah.
And I really
we
wanna
should
go
take
to
a
the-
trip out to there. Let's just make a we'll talk after this. Let's
Yeah.
make a weekend trip.
Let's make a weekend trip. Get a cabin up there.
Yeah.
And we'll do Twisted Oaks. We'll do Calf Killer. I mean, that's where we did
we might go to Midnight Express.
might go to Midnight
If
Express.
there's
Yeah, we'll
time.
see. I'm up for seeing a middle-aged woman getting fingered on a on a folding table that the Dudley boys used to put people through in the 90s.
That happened one time in 2015. I think that was the year.
Yeah.
That seems a little early.
But that would be a good weekend. But there's apparently, my cousin was telling me there's a restaurant in Smithville now that requires reservations.
Oh,
And
I
you
don't
can't-
know about that. I don't know the name.
It's some like steak and seafood house.
Let's go.
And
I
apparently,
feel like there's a gay bar just before Midnight Express.
Turtles.
Yeah, Turtles. That's right.
I was talking to my mother about that the last time we were up there. I'm like, hey, have you heard? I don't know why I'm asking my
Yeah.
mother. Have you heard if this is like actually a gay bar but there was something, I heard a rumor about it, but then also
Like, there's
they
not a
posted
rumor.
something on the sign.
They have a sign out front that says like gay bar. Like I drove past it. That's all. I know is I drove past and it said gay bar.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like
I didn't see
essentially that.
that. Yeah. Man, I bet that's fun.
Probably. Let's go.
I bet that's fun. A gay bar in Smithville, fucking Tennessee. Are you kidding me? What goes on there?
Gay stuff.
who's
I don't
there?
know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gays. I don't know. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
find out. It's
we
Pride
need-
Month.
You're right. Yeah, maybe that's what we can do. Let's celebrate Pride Month.
We'll
Going to Turtles.
live broadcast from Turtles.
Man, you know that's not a bad idea. I wonder if they've
hope
got.
there's no snapping turtles.
Well, you catch me in the right mood, buddy. I should. I'm gonna see if they're on social media. I might try.
Maybe
to
that's
contact-
the reservation place.
I'm gonna reach out and be like, "Hey, can we come film some stuff in here?"
Yeah, we got a folding table we'll set up for you.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. A weekend in Smithville, we could work in
Dude,
Twisted
a
Oaks.
weekend in Smithville is what people should be coming to Tennessee for.
It is. It actually is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful out there. Like,
Don't go to Nashville. Go to Smithville.
yeah, my grandfather passed in 2017, And ever since then, like, we only go out there to, check on his grave, make sure that the stone's all clean and everything, and maybe a few times a year. But I loved going out there to visit them when he was still with us, because the pace of life is so much slower, and like it's a very relaxing getaway break from everything that Nashville is. But there's also like there's like a weird underworld in Smithville as well, with like the Midnight Express. And
right. Well, because you have like this beautiful, it's the best lake in Tennessee.
Center Hill Lake, baby.
As far as I'm aware and have experienced, it really is the nicest lake. And there's a lot of wealth, a lot of homes, a lot of stuff around there, but they're not permanent residents. So you get this kind of underground party vibe in the right season.
Yeah.
So all you Lake Tahoe people want to come to Tennessee, go to Smithville.
Oh man, maybe that's what's going to happen.
Take some pressure off of Nashville.
Maybe that's the future of Smithville. Smithville, Tennessee, Center Hill Lake
is the new Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. That might be the episode title. I need to jot that down before we move on.
Or take it out before we fucking ruin it.
Smithville is the new Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
There we go. I think that's the episode title for this week. We still have not even talked about any of the stories that were prepared for this week. But there is one that I definitely want to get to, and it's the robbery out at Tanger Outlets, because this is just fucking crazy.
Tanger Outlets, Antioch, Tennessee.
I wrote a story about it. The headline reads, "Someone needs to make a movie about the latest Tanger Outlets robbery." Again, specifying the latest Tanger Outlets robbery, because this is a place that's pretty heavily targeted by robbers in the area. It's been quite some time that we've seen videos circulating on TikTok where people are just kind of bombarding stores, grabbing as much shit as they can and running out. And I mean, listen, there are some nice stores at this outlet mall, which it's just kind of crazy to think that they built it there to begin with, because it's an area of town that is kind of known as a bit of a crime hub. There's a high activity, high crime rate out there. And it kind of felt like a poor mix to begin with. But now, this latest chapter in the Tanger Outlet robberies, people were fed up. People were fed up, and these people tried to rob a Perfumania store, and they came in, grabbed a bunch of shit, and then some between the store employees and concerned citizens,
non-thieves,
barricaded the door, shut the door so that people couldn't get out. These people grabbed a stepladder off the wall and were trying to bang out the back door to get away. They couldn't, so apparently they just went through the drywall. They just started laying this ladder into the wall, opened up a hole, got out the other side, ran onto I-24, which is right behind the Tanger Outlets there, carjacked somebody, literally just jumped out in front of the interstate, carjacked somebody, and as far as we know at the time of this recording, they got away and have not been apprehended. But this is kind of a wild story where I look at it on the surface, having worked retail and been in those environments, working the store, being the manager on duty of the store while somebody robbed it, and just thinking like, I don't think there's any way, there's no way in hell I'm putting my life on the line for Perfumania as a shopper. But then when you hear some of the people that held the door shut, and you think about the history of this place, the Tanger Outlets being robbed like every week or so, there's a new TikTok video. And even in this case, like the police were called, it took them 30 minutes to get there. They only got there that quickly because they were responding to a call about a fight at the Victoria's Secret in the mall. So like it happens all the time. And there were some of these citizens that spoke up and said, we're tired of it. We're tired of this happening here all the time. What do you make of this whole thing? And where do you land on the the action that these people took to step in front of the door and keep the robbers from walking out the front door.
Yeah, so I'll take it in two pieces here and not dwell on it too much. Three pieces. Let me take three things away here.
Okay.
Number one, if you stop for anyone on the interstate, you deserve to get your car stolen.
That,
like,
I'm kind of...
It's such a dangerous position to be in. Now, I understand if people are all over the place and you got to slow down stuff, but like...
If they're jumping in front of your car...
Dude, you're on the interstate. You need to be more worried about the 18-wheeler going 70 miles per hour behind you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what to say on that. That's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Number two. Some products and things are not worth it. But at the same time, there's a cascade of other issues on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
With inventory loss, insurance, employee wages. They need to have the store. They need to have the mall.
Mm-hmm.
There's these things become popular. There's a downfall of having these places. It's an economic impact, and it has a downfall to having these stores accessible for you to shop at.
Yeah,
has an accessibility for people to have jobs, and just to have social order and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what 3 was.
All right.
I did have 3. That it just there's so much to it that's frustrating.
Yeah.
And you can pick it apart all day long, but at the end of the day, it just has such a local but also widespread social issue of I stand with the people that tried to stop it, because you have to stop it if you want some sort of order. And the police, if you had, I think it's where I was going, number 3, if you had enough time to break out of there, it means the police response was slow, because they're overwhelmed in a city that's being overwhelmed with people moving in and crime and all that. And they need help.
Yeah.
And people need to be able to say enough's enough, but they need a justice system that supports them in those actions to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And it's not a popular opinion at times and stuff. It's just and we go back to the area.
Yeah.
IKEA was one of the first major things to say they were going to go in there. And this was a long time ago,
and
like 10 years ago almost, and they pulled out.
It's the same site, right? Yeah. Like IKEA was going to be built where the Tanger Outlets are.
And they pulled out. And like it is a weird area. I think there's promise and stuff. But,
well, they're trying to spruce it up.
Yeah. There's just so many problems going on, and without beating a dead horse with it, but I think a lot of this falls back on the businesses as well. Yeah. They need to stand for their employees and respect their jobs and their own respect for what they're trying to do to keep the store open. And I don't want to get too deep into the woods, but there's so many people so many businesses, large corporations that would say, oh, it's too much of a liability for you to stop them. Well, those people are already in the store.
Yeah.
Like you're putting them into harm's way by allowing this activity to be allowed, but also flourishing.
Your point, correct me if I'm wrong, but is like if people know this is the case, that the employees are not going to do anything, then it kind of it encourages copycats.
Oh, absolutely. Word spreads.
And so you are by that nature increasing the number of times that your employees are going to be exposed to this sort of incident. And man, I don't know, like every time something like this happens, you hear stories all the time, even out here in Mount Juliet, of like people pulling guns over stupid shit. If you're letting the word get out there that nobody's going to do anything about it, you're increasing the number of times that you expose your employees to it. And every time is a risk because you don't know what these people are capable of. People get desperate. They do crazy things. They might come in, like even with the, no intention of shooting anybody, but you get them backed into a corner. How many times have we seen that where shit goes sideways and somebody gets shot?
I've seen it. I've been in the situation in a retail employee
Mm-hmm.
where I had to be involved with a firearm situation.
Man.
And it's just, the word spreads quick. Even without social media, the word spreads quick. But when you start throwing that on TikTok, and people, and it's a mob mentality, which is not just with theft stuff, but just like groups of people just going and start attacking other groups of people for no reason other than like, hey, someone's recording it. We're going to get this video on there. And hell, COVID helped us with the masks, and nobody's going to know who we are anyways. Like, just there's just like this huge problem of misbehavior.
Yeah.
And it just, I'm not surprised that it's happening there, but it is what we've just talked about so much and complained about over the years of the population increase in Nashville and all this stuff of like, oh, things are changing, this and that. But it's also like, dude, 10 minutes down the road, you might not want to go there. Yeah. And I've been to that outlet mall. It's awesome.
Yeah,
but there's also one on the other side of town in Lebanon that got shut down for similar reasons.
Yeah.
Similar activity made all those major brands say, yeah, we're not going to go there anymore. And then let me be gentle with you guys. How silly are you?
Don't get
major corporations for saying, we'll just go to this other side of town that's known for far worse criminal activity than the other side of town. It's the same brands. They were at this spot and they moved to the other one just because it's under the umbrella of Tanger. It's just weird that they put up with why they don't have security enforcement. I guess it comes down to insurance, and there's a huge cascade effect of this shit. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's... Man, I don't know. I mean, do you chalk it up to like growing pains, trying to gentrify a community that had a high crime rate? I mean, you take your lumps for the available land sort of deal. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
I think there's too many things for us to pinpoint as two nice dudes who want better things. I think there's too many things for us to pinpoint. It is all those things you just said, plus a justice system that's not helping support it.
Yeah. Well, you talk about the trickle-down effect, and I brought up the example of talking to my mother about this over dinner on Wednesday at our sad Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm asking, did you hear about this? And I'm describing it to her. And her initial response is, well, maybe we shouldn't go to that mall anymore. And we've only been once. We went the day before Thanksgiving, grabbed some pizza at Tailgate, walked around the mall a little bit. It was an awesome afternoon. Yeah,
let me interrupt.
Awesome afternoon.
There's a Tailgate brewery on site. Like
Prince's Hot Chicken.
That's why I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And what's the burger place?
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack's there.
Shake Shack's there, yeah. And they had a food truck that was out there serving, it was the day before Thanksgiving, so it's a little cooler outside. The best hot chocolate I've ever had, which we kind of realized, like, I think this is just the recipe they used for it was Haagen-Dazs, if I'm not mistaken. A Haagen-Dazs hot chocolate. I'm like, I think this is just what they use to make their ice cream in hot chocolate form.
It's just melted.
It's just melted ice cream, but it was good.
But the facility, the Outlets Mall, has a small playground area for children too.
Playground, and they show movies out there on the screen. Like, it is, in theory, an awesome spot. But if you have this reputation, which is why I can't fathom why they're not trying to beef up. Well, I shouldn't say they're not trying. We don't know if they're trying to beef up security or not.
I don't think they can.
But it's hard to fathom. Like, this stuff spreads, man. Yeah. And like word of mouth, like people are not going to want to go to this place anymore. And I don't know if that's part of the reason, you think about the locals that live in the area that like it, go it, respect the property, respect the people, the other shoppers, that sort of thing. I hearken this back to our conversation at the beginning of the show, how much we liked when Providence opened in Mount Juliet and having the stuff that stuff being accessible to us in our neck of the woods without having to drive 30 minutes to Opry Mills to find the nearest mall. It's like, if you're in that area and you see this thing and you enjoy it, I don't know. Maybe that is something that makes you want to fucking fight for it and say, no, I'm not gonna let this stand because this is ultimately going to hurt this place, and eventually it'll go by the same direction as the Lebanon Prime Outlets, and they won't be there anymore. So, like I said, like there's no way I would do it. I still like.
You wouldn't block the door?
I wouldn't block the door. Because I'm looking at it like these people are going to turn and start fucking shooting. Now, I say that, but I also have a surprising. I think I have a flight or fight response that would probably surprise a lot.
Especially
of people.
when you see something that's not right.
Yeah, and so
I think that's what happened with these people too.
I think in the moment I would see it.
Just fed up.
I'm
just
tempted.
say, just stop.
I'm tempted not to share this story, but like, I'm not going to share this story. There was a flight or fight response recently where I thought I was going to put myself in harm's way to help somebody, and it ultimately ended up being nothing. But I sit here on this podcast and say, no, there's no fucking way I would do that. And then in the moment, I think might be a different story.
But I think, especially with those people, like you said, that were there, it just said, we've had enough. Just stop. Like, it's what separates civilized society from chaos.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to be the line. And if elected officials, if police can't respond timely, if the justice system isn't supporting that, what's left? Chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't want it.
We've taken a turn from
Midnight
Express
let me just say
Turtles.
Let me just say how I should pronounce it. Chaos. That's how it's spelled.
We do need to get out of here because we've been talking for over an hour.
Hungry
at this point. We're hungry. We're gonna make the
We've
trek
wasted
to
our
Smithville.
time getting mad.
We talked about one story. Hang on, I want to count real quick. I had a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
We
9.
talked about the spring and the heat.
Kind of. Nine stories on this that we did not get to. We got to 1 of the 10 stories. I'm sorry, no. 2 of the 11.
How about quick headlines?
Okay.
Nashville Symphony free concerts. I've been around some of those. I've gone to some of those when they do them outside of town.
Yeah.
Go to it. Cool.
They're awesome. There's Saturday and Sunday. Look at NashvilleSymphony.org for the schedule.
Yeah. Ernest Day. Jim Varney. Best actor to ever live. Most prolific person in our lifetime. Ernest is awesome. All the Ernest movies. Go rent them. Go buy them. Stream them. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
What else? Oh, hot dogs, hot spots?
I don't know about that.
So the link from Do 615 is just their list of like these are the best places in Nashville to get a hot dog. Do you have a favorite spot in Nashville to get a hot dog? It's Daddy's Dogs for me. That's an easy one.
You know, I like a simple hot dog.
Yeah.
And there's probably something I'm missing right now, but I will say that I have had a lot of good fun times with the Corey's Doghouse in Providence.
Underrated. Maybe that's where we should go tonight.
It's heavy. I don't know if we should do that.
No, it is.
We need to go sit at a bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Dude, hot dogs are great. Fucking eat them.
I love hot dogs. I love Daddy's Dogs, man. And you can get a simple hot dog at Daddy's Dogs, and it hits different, man. It's like a regular hot dog on steroids. I don't know if you've had them before, but then they also like have the dog of the month, and there's all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh yeah.
There was a dog at one point that had grilled peaches on it.
Okay,
and it was good. It
okay,
was good.
If you say so.
Shake of the month kind of stuff.
I like sprucing up a hot dog with some things, but that might be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that. Let me just say that.
So our closing icebreaker for this week's episode, is there a restaurant or store that you love enough to attempt to stop an ongoing robbery at?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on the situation, but like as I mentioned earlier, I have done that by pulling up my own firearm.
Well,
and as somebody ran out, I wasn't going to shoot them in the back.
Yeah, that's
not good.
That gets tricky.
So I have done that for my own job.
Yeah.
A long time ago for the listeners.
Which is crazy because you also worked at Buffalo Wild Wings at the time.
It was Buffalo Wild Wings.
No,
Just kidding.
no. We
Just
can't.
kidding. No.
Yeah, that's a joke.
I've done that. So when you're put in that situation, it's different. But, dude, I don't know. I don't know where I fall on that. Because part of me realizes that there's not a system that really supports standing up for like some foundation of like, this is where we draw the line. The line is so blurry nowadays on support that I don't know. But I will say, for hypothetical reasons, WoW.
Yeah.
If somebody came in and tried to rob WoW, which, you know what, never mind, because I let somebody... I didn't let them. They tricked me. I loved WoW so much that I took time to work there.
Yeah.
And I had a customer. We did like a special late night thing for a fight or something on TV. And this dude played us. He ordered a lot of whiskey. And he got a lot. Like doubles. And he said, "Oh, I gotta go talk to my buddy outside real quick." He left his jacket. He left his phone on the table. I was like, all right, yeah. And then he never came back.
Man.
So once we investigated, it's just a fucking jacket.
You go to Goodwill and buy a jacket.
The phone
for $5.
It was a little fake flip phone that had no battery in it, no SIM card stuff.
Yeah.
Like
that's actually pretty good.
It's less than $100 at that time that we got robbed with, but it was just like,
he got y'all.
So I didn't stand up. I would have had I known, but just any place you like and enjoy, like just know that it's not simple and it's not innocent.
Yeah.
It is. There's a downstream effect that impacts a lot of things, and it doesn't just impact a corporation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things. Everything's gray and muddy and clouded. It's not black and white.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My answer is Panda Express.
Fuck off. As in you put a gun on people who are trying to enter the building?
Yeah.
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 Like, don't eat here.
No. No. I am. Don't tread on me.
So, here's what the listeners need to see: Stoney with a gun pointed at me with a gun, saying "eat here," and I'm saying "don't eat here."
Yeah. And then we just shoot each other. It's like what's the Will Ferrell movie where
Business
they hit each other?
Step
Brothers.
Brothers.
Except with guns. Yeah.
So you would defend Panda Express?
Yeah, I will defend Panda Express with my life.
Dude, they better hire you.
Sponsorship deal with Panda Express incoming. That's going to do it for this week's Sobros Power Hour.
Enjoy. Anyone who made it to this point.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ryan, what do you have going on these days? Where can the people find you on social media?
Outdoor Sobro. There's a lot going on. Like I wanted to talk about at times. We've stepped away. We got a few things coming up with some motorcycle racing stuff. It's been a big.
You just hopped on Phone It In with us too. On
I did, yeah.
That was a great episode, man.
It was awesome. Everybody check out Rooster and Stoney's series there with Phone It In, especially the Missing 411. That was a really fun episode, but all their stuff's fun. We got a few motorcycle things coming out soon. It's just there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of action. Like the economy's good for racing right now, and I'm happy for it. It's just everything is happening on the same weekends, and I can't keep up. Yep. So we got a few things coming out soon. Check it out. Outdoor Sobro on all social media platforms.
And I'm at Stoney Keeley, at Sobros Network on all major social media platforms. All of the work is up at SobrosNetwork.com. The merch is up at SobrosShop.com. Rate, review, subscribe to the Sobros Power Hour. Leave us a review if you have a moment. That's how we get better. We always want to be better for you guys. So for Ryan, I'm Stoney, and until next time, you stay classy, Nashville.
Thanks, y'all.